What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the video on the channel, and today I've never been closer to playing 510. Oh my goodness. Today is the day after the Encore Monsoon. If you don't know what that is, I'm gonna link a tweet down in the description below. Click that out. I'm sure if you're from the area, you watched some of the videos where like just a pipe just completely bursted in the poker room. So that caused a real shit show in there. But today's the day after that. We're gonna check out the room, see how it goes, because it looked pretty terrible. They like evacuated the whole room. But today, I've never been close to playing 510. Why do I say that? Well, I called it Twin River because if I'm gonna play 510, that's the place I'm gonna go play. It's a smaller game, and I think it's a little bit softer than the Encore or MGM. So I called, I'm on that waiting list, and I don't think I am going to pull the trigger today, unfortunately. I'm itching for it. I just want to see how I stack up against the 510 players. I know I'm like not good and I'm very far away from playing that game, but I just want to see. I just want to see how I am. I want to test myself. I want to see what it's like. I'm itching to play. I really want to play. But we're going to be a little responsible and just head to Encore, play some 1-3 because that's just what we have to do. That's just part of the grind. Gonna be monotonous. We're just gonna sit there, play for value. My goodness, do not do that again. My God. We're gonna play for value, sit there and make some money. Hopefully, ideally, run pretty good. So we're gonna do that instead of going to Twin River and playing. But one of these times I'm gonna do it. I've been itching for it, but I'll try to be as responsible as I can until I hit my bankroll challenge to play. But who knows? Anyways, we're gonna get there and see how things go, look at what the poker room looks like, and report back to you with some hands. So let's get into them. We start off this session with red pocket aces in middle position. Pretty nice hand to start off this video with. And there's two limpers to me here, raising things up to $18 over two limpers, and we get an under the gun player who limp re-raises me to $43, and it folds all the way back to me. Obviously, it seems like he has a pretty nutted hand. Unfortunately, he only has about $125 in his whole stack. So here, I really want to commit his entire stack in this pot, and I do something just a little strange. You know, I just go ahead and min raise it again. Min 4-bet this to $85 total. It's a spot where he literally cannot fold to this, and he's forced to jam. I didn't want to totally jam and scare him off the pot, but here it's basically going to guarantee the fact that I get the entire stack in regardless, because we're gonna put all the money in on the flop anyways. So I min raise it to $85, and he jams about $125 total. Obviously, we are going to get in there. So we call, and we're going to a run out. He asks if he wants to flip, and I say sure, let's flip it for fun. He has pocket kings, I have aces, and the board comes queen 6, 4, 8, deuce, and we hold. So nice hand to start off with, and we take we stack them here. Next hand, we have king, queen of diamonds on the button, and a middle position player opens it up to $10, and it folds to me. Here, king, queen in position, I'm going to 3-bet this a lot of the time. So I do 3-bet to $35. We get a small blind player who calls, and the middle position player calls as well. Small blind, he's a pretty solid reg. I feel like he plays 2-5 a good amount, and I really don't like him on my left. But we're gonna go 3 ways to a flop. In position, flop comes queen jack 6, 2 spades out there. So we flop top pair on a fairly connected board, and action checks all the way to me. Going to c-bet this with top pair all the time, so I decide to throw in a bet of $70. The small blind player tanks for a little bit and ends up check raising me to $165, and it folds to me. Here, just really not comfortable with this spot. I think he'd be doing this with a lot of combo draws, but realistically, maybe just a bunch of sets, because he did cold call my 3-bet out of position. I know he's not weak, and check raises are almost never bluffs. So here, I mean, if I call, we're gonna play for my entire stack, and if I fold, we're fine, and if I jam, whatever. Jamming's obviously not an option, and calling just seems really unfortunate. I just decided to lay it down. Not really sure what to do in this spot with top pair. It seems like a good fold because I don't think check raises are ever bluffs. Queen jack offsuit is like at the bottom of his range, I think, but realistically it feels like a set if he is cold calling my 3-bet, especially in the small blinds. So I let it go, and we are moving on. And after that, pocket queens in the hijack, and the middle position player opens it up to $12. $12 is just a little too small for me, so I'm going to 3-bet to $40. It folds all the way back to him, and he ships it. He covers me, and he ships it. So that is an interesting turn of events. What am I going to do here? I have queens at the very top of my range. I'm just kind of hoping he has ace-king at this point. So I just have to call. I mean, what are we going to do? I really don't feel like I can fold queens here. So I call, and we go to the runout. Comes Jack 10-6 flop, 3 turn, and the river is a deuce. So not the worst board in the world. He shows aces though, so we lose. But yeah, that's a quick one. We get stacked real quick. Nice time to run into aces there. Following hand, we have pocket aces under the gun. I open it up to $15, and we get 2 callers, the button and the small blinds. So we're going to a flop 3 ways. The flop comes 9, 5, 6, 2 clubs out there. Not really an amazing board for us, but regardless, we are going with it because we do have aces. So I am going to c-bet $30 on the bigger side, and we get a caller on the button. We go to a turn, which is the 8 of clubs. It is probably the grossest card in the deck for us. I check, obviously, and the button ends up throwing a bet of $60. Here, I think it is probably an easy fold. There's really not a whole lot I beat. The board is so connected, like literally the grossest board ever. The flush gets there, the board's connected, 2-pair combos, everything out there in the world that beats 1 pair. But I decided to call, peel one, and see what happens. The river is the 6 of spades, so it's not the worst card in the world for us. The board is still obviously very connected, but we do improve to 2-pair, and we beat other 2 pairs. And I decide to check. He decides to throw out another bet of $60. This is really stupid. This is a fold every time, it seems like. But, I mean, $60 is way too cheap, so I decide to just call, and he shows pocket 5s for a boat. He had a set, he improved to a boat, and we pay him off. So things are not going too great for us so far. So we're like an hour into our session right now. Hour and a half into our session, and we blasted off 600 so fast. The quickest you could blast off $600 in a 1-3 game. So we're in for 3 binds, we're in the game for 900, and we're sitting with 300. Just out here to tell you guys what's good. I don't know what to do. We started off really well. We stacked a guy for 100 bucks with aces versus kings. Then we flopped a set. We didn't get paid with the sets, but we did run our queens into aces and our aces into a set, and we just paid everyone off. Paying off the whole table. So that's what's going on right now. Not great, not the start I wanted. It's been an hour and a half, mind you. All those hands, hour and a half. So hopefully we can run things up again. I don't know, just sit there and see what happens. I'm not really too optimistic about it right now, but hey, who knows? Maybe we can run hot again. Find a way to do that, because we haven't ran hot in a while. So anyways, we'll report back, see what happens. After the mid-session update, we have King Jack offsuit in the small blind. There are 4 limpers to me, and here I'm just gonna complete out of position small blind, not really trying to raise or play a bloated pot. So I limp, and the big blind raises to $20. Player on my left, he is the 2-5 regular. So he raises a 20, and an early position player calls. Here, out of position. It might be a fold sometimes, but here with King Jack, I decided to be a little sticky with it and decided to call as well. So we're going to a flop 3 ways. Flop comes 10, deuce, 3, 2 clubs out there. Not a board that connects with me. I check, and action actually ends up checking all the way around. The turn is the 4 of clubs. Here I'm given a great opportunity to take a stab and bluff at it here. I don't block any flushes, so everyone can have the flush draw. So I might be able to double barrel and get this one through. I decided to throw out a bet of $30, and both players make the call. So not really feeling great when both players make the call, but we're gonna go to a river out of position. The river is the 8 of spades, so the board just really does not hit me. And I decided to take the opportunity and fire again, double barrel into this spot for $80. I don't really think that this is the best play in the world, but I just sensed a lot of weakness at the time. So I kind of liked my double barrel here. The big blind tanks for a long time, tanks, and ends up calling after like 2 whole minutes of tanking. I say he's good. He shows pocket nines. Pocket nines, he makes the call. I don't know how he did that, but this player has been making a lot of really good hero calls this whole time, and I'm kind of impressed because this was a really good call with nines. I'm not sure how he did it, but he did. And after that, we have pocket queens again in the hijack, and the player to my right open limps. I am going to raise things up to $15, and the 2-5 reg on my left 3 bets to $45, and it folds all the way back to me. Out of position against this player, pocket queens. He can be doing this fairly light, I think. Doesn't have to be nutted in this spot necessarily. So here, trying to get the money in the middle, he covers me by $1 million. I only have 300 in front, so I decided to 4-bet to $155, not leaving myself with too much behind here. I just thought that jamming would be a little too big, honestly, so I decided to just 4-bet with not much behind, maybe like a half pot sized bet on the flop. He thinks for a little bit and ends up jamming. Here, obviously, I am not going to be folding once I 4-bet. So he 5-bet, covers me. I am just going to call, and we're going to a run out. Let's go to a flop. The flop doesn't really get much better than this. It's queen 5 queens, so right away flopped quads. What are we gonna do? I don't know what the rest of the board was, but obviously I can't really lose this one. He said that he has ace king, and well, we scooped that one and we double up. So finally we got some run good in there, flop some quads, and we double up into a pretty decent sized stack. So let's see if we can run things up. A long time passes, maybe an hour or two, and we run into this hand. We've been chipping up, playing fairly well, playing fine, I guess. We have about $800 in front, and we look down at ace king offsuit in the under the gun position. I open it up to $15, and we get one player who calls, player on the big blind to my right. He says he watches the channel. He seems that he's been pretty aggressive since joining the table, and we're gonna see. We're gonna mix things up. So we're going to a flop, heads up. Flop comes king 9-5 rainbow, and he checks to me. Obviously with ace king, just gonna bet for value. I throw out a bet of $20 here, and he decides to call. The turn is the ace of clubs, so we improve the top two on a fairly dry board, but the backdoor flush does get there. He checks to me once again, and just gonna bet for value with top two. I throw out a bet of $50. He doesn't think too long before raising me to $150. While he raises me, he says that it's a pretty good card for me to be bluffing on. And here, yeah, it would be a pretty good card for me to bluff on, since a lot of you guys think I bluff all the time. So top two, perfect spot for me. I really think about my options. I try to think about jamming, think about calling. We're playing really, really deep, so I'm obviously not going to jam, but maybe 3-bet to a larger sizing. But here I am just going to flat, putting all his bluffs in range, and we're going to a river, which is the 3 of clubs. Not really the best card in the world, as the flush does get there. He throws out a bet of $325, and without any hesitation, any thoughts, I snap call this one. He shows over pocket nines for a set, and we lose that one, unfortunately. Kind of a cooler spot. I put this hand in my Facebook group, just wanted to get your opinions on this, because this guy said that I probably should have just folded if I thought about it a little bit more. I don't know, not really a spot that I can ever really fold to, because at the end of the day I beat a whole lot of 2-pair combos. Since he's in the big blind, I only raised to $15. Like, there's a lot of 2-pair combos that I beat, and he definitely could be bluffing here sometimes as well. So unfortunate to run into that. We lose a pretty massive one, and our stack kind of chips all the way down. And after that, also quite some time after the fact, we ended up chipping up back again. We went in for like 300, and we're back up to $700 in our stack. So things are going okay. You know, I'm not saying they're going great, but they're going okay. So we're looking at pocket 10s in the hijack, and there's 2 limpers to me. I raise things up to $20 here, and the small blind player, who I literally haven't seen play a damn hand and hasn't raised or 3-bet ever, he 3-bets. He 3-bets me to $56. It's a pretty small 3-bet. I'm not sure what that sizing came from. And the player to my right calls. He seems like he's been fairly active, and it feels like he could mix things up a little bit. And here, I'm not really too comfortable with the situation. I almost probably would have folded to this 3-bet, because it's almost always aces or kings. Like, I literally don't think he'd be 3-betting anything else. Not even ace king is out of his range here. So I reluctantly call $36 more, obviously, what I'm going to do. And we're just going to set mine here. The flop comes 6 deuce 3 2 spades. So this doesn't help us. Flop the overpair, and the small blind leads are $50. It is so small, I'm really confused. And the player to my right calls this bet. I'm feeling terrible about this hand. I'm really not comfortable because I put the small blind in such a strong range. So here, obviously, just given a really great price, I have the overpair. Like, it could be good sometimes, but honestly, in my head, it's almost never good. So I decided to just call once again the $50, feeling horrible about it, like I said. So we're going to a turn 3 ways, still in position at least. The turn comes the 6. So the 6 is paired now, and the small blind checks, which I just never saw coming. I really thought he would just continue barreling with his aces or kings, maybe queens sometimes. I don't even think he 3-bets with queens. And the player to my right bets $148. And I'm just in such a really weird spot. I'm in a pickle right now. I'm just right in the middle between these two. I'm not sure what the small blind's going to do, but I really think he's going to call. And I'm pretty confident I'm ahead of the player to my right, unless he has a random 6 sometimes. So just not sure what's going on in this hand, because the small blind did lead out and check on this turn. So just not comfortable, not knowing what to do in a value situation, because the player to my right also is fairly deep. We are playing similar stack sizes. I fold my 10s. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what to do in this spot. I was so confused. I was so sure that the small blind was going to call regardless, and I was also very sure that I was ahead of the player to my right, but we don't know. So I fold, and the small blind folds as well. So I really don't know. I really don't know. My read was totally wrong. I'm not entirely sure, but we folded our overpair. Maybe sometimes this middle position player could, or this player to my right could have a 6. Just maybe sometimes. But regardless, we're moving on. Let me know. Last hand that I will go over in this video, we have ace queen of spades under the gun +1, sitting around $800 in our stack. Once again, we've been shipping up, playing fairly well. And the under the gun player opens it up to $12, and I am not going to be playing for $12 here. I decided to 3-bet to 40. It folds all the way back to him, and he quickly makes the call. So we're in position at least with a pretty good hand. The flop comes jack 6-3, 2 spades out there. So probably one of the more ideal boards we can hit when we don't connect at all. We do flop 2 overs and the nut flush draw. And this guy, under the gun player, leads out for $175 total. What? And he's playing about 500-ish effective. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this massive overbet is. I feel like he could be at the very top of his range, flopping the nuts with pocket jacks. Sure, he did open pre-flop, and pocket jacks is surely in his range. But here, like, you're trying to get value with jacks. You don't want to do that. So it smells like a one-pair hand, but I'm also just very confused this whole time. Right now, at the moment, I'm probably losing. I'm probably behind, I think. But flopping this much equity, 2 overs and nut flush draw, I ended up just gonna go with it. I decided to just rip it all in and jam, because he did do that. He did lead out for really, really big. So I jam for his effective stack of a little over $500. He snap calls. So I don't feel amazing about it. Like, if I'm behind a set, so be it, like, whatever. I have so much equity, and if I'm against one pair, I'm even feeling a little bit great. I'm feeling really good about it. So 3 snap calls, and we are on to the runouts, the turn, and the river. I'm in this game for $1,100 right now up to this point. The pot has ballooned to like $1,300, and we have some money behind. So biggest pot of the night so far for us. We've been grinding and battling all night long. Let's try to hit any of our outs. That'd be cool. Maybe hit an ace, maybe hit a queen, maybe we'll be good. But if we win and hit our outs, then we are finally out of the red, into the green, and in for a pretty profitable night. So the run out comes the 4 of diamonds and the 10 of clubs. What an absolute brick. That was very anticlimactic. I say he's good. He shows jack 9 offsuit, and he takes it down with his pair of jacks, and I'm feeling miserable. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty miserable. We lose that one. It was 50-50 on the flop. We didn't win the flip, and that stinks. So we lose that one. Just cashed out, and it's about 1 a.m. right now. We went through a lot of hands, I think, I'm sure. I have a lot of hands written down. We'll see how many I go through, but I think we went through a lot of hands this video. Don't hit me, please. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Oh, you're gonna keep driving. All right, you're gonna keep on driving. All right, anyways, whatever. It's 1 a.m. And usually I'd be in a really bad mood after getting absolutely destroyed and demolished today, because that's exactly what happened today. Just got totally fucked, but I'm not for some reason. I just don't really, I'm usually very emotional, but the weird thing that I'm really not right now. I was in the game for 4 total buy-ins, 1,200. In the game for 1,200, out of the game for $2.99. I couldn't even find $1 to make it an even 300. It was a good $2.99. So that's really all I can say here. Just a terrible, terrible day. But I don't think I played bad. It's just the cards kind of fucked me. I ran it up when I was able to. I don't think you guys saw that too many hands of me winning, but I won a good amount and was just running it up until I was hit into that ace-king versus pocket 9 spot. And I don't think I never folded there. I don't think I can ever fold to the river. It was definitely a cooler and I couldn't really do anything. And then after that, we ran it back up again till that ace-queen hand against jack 9. And we couldn't hit any outs. So what can I say? That was it. That was this video. That was it. I don't even feel bad because I feel like I played fairly okay for the most part, right? I feel like sometimes I can blame the card, sometimes I can blame myself, and I think today I played fairly okay, and it just didn't work out for me. So October isn't really going too great. Basically the same as September right now. We're down for the month, but we're gonna see, you know, we're just gonna bounce back maybe, see how things go next session, and get back there, because I can play better poker, and just hope that the cards can kind of find their way to figure things out. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. If you made it all the way through, leave a like. Also, huge shout out to my boy Eric. Huge shout out to you. It was really nice playing with you for like the hour or two there. Unfortunately, we couldn't get into any hands, but huge shout out to Eric. You're awesome. It was super nice meeting you, and hopefully I'll play with you again. And anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.